Yeah, we noticed.
Yeah.
No, Connors cast Dispel 5G.
Say
Stream,
what happened?
streams back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my problem with that. I don't know if it's going to make that into 2 recordings or 1, and if it's going to keep recording.
Oh, for the Zoom part?
No, I'm not recording with Zoom. I'm recording with
Oh.
OBS, but
It'll be 2 recordings.
okay,
The
but it will
question is,
still record both, right?
it should. What you might want to check is if it actually managed to save the first half. If not, you were streaming, so you do have the stream backup copy.
Yeah, I generally use that one anyway, but now I gotta fix our images again too. Stupid computer.
Yeah, it'll split it into 2 recordings.
Okay, that's fine with me. I don't care about that.
Everybody switch characters really quick.
Yeah, right.
I am now Axley.
How do I play a warlock?
All right. Okay, so that looks like it's right. How's the stream look, Matt?
Looks like we're back to normal.
Okay, good. All right. Well, sorry about that, everyone. Little computer glitch, I guess, on my part. It seems like it pretty seamlessly dealt with it, so I'm not going to play with it at all. However, I don't know how much. Where did I drop? What did you hear?
You were in the middle of exclaiming from the guy that got frozen, and then you got frozen. So we just thought that,
I was playing along really well.
For effect,
Yeah.
Method
Yeah.
acting. It was great.
So he's trying to claw out of this thing, and he's just held, and he can't do anything. And he says, "Grunt, Grunt, get that one. He froze me. Get that one." And he points over at Axley, and the other I almost called him a kobold. The other goblin, who is also a blue-skinned goblin, he moves his hands, and he's making a motion, a typical, motion of like he's casting a spell, and he's muttering under his breath, and then all of a sudden, really loud, he says, "Ice poker!" And he points at Axley, and out of his fingertip comes a shard of ice. And I'm going to roll an attack roll. And that is a 12. What's your AC, Axley?
AC is 15.
Okay, he is going to not hit you. However, as the piece of ice goes by, it explodes, and you need to make a dexterity saving throw with a DC of 13.
Okay, here we go. Oh, that's a 19 roll.
Okay, so you see shards of ice explode out of this thing and go into the ground, and they freeze a little area around the ground. And the little goblin that had pointed at you, he says, this is not the way it's supposed to go. And then that's the goblin's turn. The other goblin who had the cloak on, he is going to attempt to break free of your dastardly magical item. And in order to do that, I have to make a strength check. And I don't think I made it. It is, yeah, nope, he does not make it. Okay. But he starts muttering under his breath as though he's going to do something next turn. And that's that creature. Meanwhile, the 4 flying mud creatures each move over and they end up attempting to basically, here's what they do. They fly up and they shrink down a little bit, and then they open their mouths and they try to vomit boiling mud onto you. And when I say you, I mean Marcel, Imran, and Axley. But not Konos, because Konos did not stand up. So here is an attack versus Marcel. I rolled a 1, so that's a miss. Here's an attack versus Imran. Another 1. Okay, let's put that die away. 2 1s in a row, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those examples of a battle not going the way I thought it was going to go.
Okay, yes.
Oh,
We
and then
crossed that line from the beginning.
and then I rolled a natural 20. So Axley, you are going to take.
So wait, so with my reaction, can I use my bardic ability, which is to to give a disadvantage? I think that's what it is. Is it it's cutting words or something like that?
You tell me what it does. What does it do?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's a oh no, it's a D8. I think it's a D8 subtracted from the roll, right? I believe it's the opposite of an advantage die. Let's see. You can choose to use this after the creature makes an attack roll, but before the GM determines whether the attack roll succeeds or fails.
Well, you're too late.
Oh, is it?
Well, I already said it hit, but I will let you use it if you tell me what it does.
Let's see. It subtracts from the number rolled based on the Bardic Inspiration die, which is a D8.
So you roll a d8, and that's subtracted from the hit.
From what he rolled.
From what he rolled.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll try it.
So what's your AC?
AC is 15.
Okay, so you're gonna want to roll a 5 or 6. You want to roll a 6 because you want to make me get a 14.
Okay.
And I rolled a 20.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, so you actually, well, so that makes it a 15, but that actually hits you still.
Oh, okay.
Does that negate the natural 20 part?
Yeah, probably. It basically turns the roll from a 20 into a 15, so it still hits, but it takes away the crit part of it.
Okay.
So you're gonna take. You're gonna take 4 damage.
Okay.
And you have little mud spittle all over you now, which is very unpleasant. Oh boy. And then the enormous mud creature gets up and moves over. And when it steps into the muddy pool in the center of the room, it sort of melds down and becomes one with the muddy pool, and you don't see it again. And that is the end of that round, which means it is Konos' turn.
Okay. So I've been familiarizing myself with the gate spell.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just leaning on the trident like a staff just to stagger back to my feet. Probably can't even hear anything else going on around me. So I'll just think to Bolum, what will happen if I cast this spell?
We'll go chase the Howler.
Okay. I mean, that sounds cool. I don't know if I want to do it right. Okay. Oh my
Let's go chase
ears.
the howler with 8 hit points.
Yeah, let's put a pin in that. And I am going to. So I will.
You don't want to go on the long road? We would take the long road and we would go to the Howler and we could destroy it. This is our destiny.
Great. We'll talk more about that in a minute. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the goblin that's not in like Axley's shackle prison.
Okay.
So
That piece of coral.
yeah. Oh, I need to have a conversation with lots of things. So 2 shots now, and then at level 5 with Eldritch Blast. An 11 and a 16.
11 misses, 16 hits.
Okay. 15 points of force damage to the one that hits.
Ouch. Okay. It falls back on its ass. It gets hit and it just goes poof, and
10
it
feet
falls
back, yeah.
down. Yeah.
Does that knock him into the mud?
No, because he's behind. He was behind the mud, so it actually pushes him farther away from everything. And anything else? Are you? Did you stand up?
I did stand up,
Okay.
yeah.
right.
So I'll just kind of move, I guess, a little bit behind Emerin.
Okay. Marcel. The current situation is the goblin that was chanting the ritual to open the gate or whatever is now restrained by Axley's magical trap. Konos is standing behind Imran, who is basically next to you. Axley is back by one of the pillars, and the other goblin helper, has fallen on his butt near the southern wall. Meanwhile, there is a flying mud creature in front of you, in front of Imran, and near Axley.
Is it just me, or did the second goblin that got thrown back get thrown back 30 feet, more than 30 feet away from me?
Oh, shit, sorry.
I
keep forgetting that with Witch Bolt.
Yeah, he's more than 30 feet away from you. Well, let's
Okay.
see. If we 10, 20, yes, he is. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that tether breaks then. Unfortunate, because that would have been a free D12 for him.
Yeah.
But the other one is still connected to the one that's prisoner, so I'm
Okay.
just gonna jolt him again.
Okay.
That's gonna be 5 lightning
Okay.
to that guy.
Wait, let's keep him alive.
What? Why? Why would I do that?
What else, Marcel?
I think for now that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imran, there is a flying mud thing in front of you, and Konos is standing and behind you.
Okay.
There's a flying mud thing in front of Axley and one near Marcel as well. There are 2 goblins.
My spiritual weapon's over the one that's restrained.
That's correct.
I'm gonna smack him.
Okay.
That's 17
Okay. Damage or to hit?
to hit.
That hits. How much damage?
10 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna reach back behind me and touch Konos on the shoulder and cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's okay. Math. 19 plus 3 is 22. 22 points of damage, or points of...
No.
22 points of damage.
Ah,
Damage, I promise. Not trying to kill you.
thank you.
Axley.
Okay. I'm gonna yell. The next person that hits the captured goblin gets a really bad tasting meal next time on the ship. We need him alive.
Is that like a negative bardic inspiration?
Yeah, exactly. Concentrate on the mud
That's-
and the
that's-
mud creatures.
We're gonna call that bardic disincentive.
That's right.
Ooh, nice.
I can't do anything about the mud creatures. Take out the mud creatures. I am going to cast suggestion on the other goblin.
Okay.
Suggestion is going to be, you need to write in the mud 1,000 times, I will not be an evil, evil blue magic user.
That'll keep him busy for 8 hours.
Isn't there a save for that?
Wisdom save, I believe
Okay.
it is.
Okay, what's your spell save DC?
15.
Okay, this thing has a wisdom. No bonus to the save. All right. 12. So, it seems to listen to what you say. Right at this moment, it sort of looks around and it looks like it's looking on the ground, and then it sort of starts looking around and it pulls a big quill out of its pocket. And it says, this is just the thing. And are you doing anything else for your turn?
No, just try to get out of the way of the mud creature.
Okay, so you're going to move then?
Yes.
Where to?
I am going to try to put that pillar between me and the mud creature that spat at me.
Okay. Okay, so you run around the pillar. Okay. All right. Well, now it's the creature's turn. The one that you cast suggestion on, it takes its quill and it turns and it walks back to the southern wall and it starts writing into the mud in the southern wall. And what did you tell it to write? I will not be an evil blue creature or something?
Magic user. Yeah.
I will not be an evil blue magic user. That's what it starts writing.
Yeah.
So the other goblin says, "No, what are you doing?" And it cusses out the younger goblin now that is drawing on the wall. It cusses it out in goblin. And it turns and it can't hardly move, but it can move its hands. And it it looks at the group of you by the door and it says, "Watery grasps of kelp and seed, I will trap you." And it casts a spell, and I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
I thought it was restrained. I didn't think it could use its hands.
It can use its hand. A restrained creature, speed becomes 0. It cannot benefit from any bonus to speed. Attack rolls against it have advantage, and attack rolls that it makes have disadvantage, and it has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
I got a
Actually,
16.
Kind of a good roll for Beyond Dex.
The DC
Excuse me.
the DC is only 13, so
Oh, cool.
Oh. Well, I got a natural 18.
actually you're actually not in the
I'm not.
effect.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
So did everybody make it then?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. So you take 6 cold damage, and these sort of weird watery projections come out. They almost look like snakes, but they're made of water, and they come out and they try to wrap around your legs. And they're trying to hold you. Since you made your save, you are not restrained, but you did take the damage. If you do not move, you have a feeling you will take damage again. And then the mud creatures are going to attack. One is going to attack Marcel. It comes up and it tries to smack them across the face, and it totally misses. These things are pathetic. The next one, oh, same thing. It's almost like they're mimicking each other and laughing. They're like, you missed. And then one tries to smack at Imran, and it also misses. And then one tries to smack at Konos and gets a 18. What's your AC, Konos?
16.
Of course. And so it hits Konos. But it only does 4 damage. But I need you to make me a DC 11 saving throw, dexterity saving throw.
Okay, 22.
Okay. At the time that it hits you, it tries to also do that barf up mud thing as well, and it does not succeed on it. You actually move out of the way. And then the wall behind Axley, because Axley went around the pillar to try to get away, to get farthest away from the mud creatures. The wall behind Axley starts taking on a form, and then you see the humanoid-shaped mud creature walk out of the wall and try to attack Axley. And so...
Is that the one that had gone into the mud pool?
Yep. Axley... Oh, 27 versus AC. That's going to hit.
27.
Yeah, I rolled a 19. It basically pummels you with its fists, and it's going to do 13 damage.
Okay.
And then it's going to, because it hit, it's going to attack you again. And that's going to hit again. And you're going to
use
take...
my cutting words on that one?
Sure, roll me a d8.
Okay.
I rolled a 16, so I rolled a 23. So you're going to have to roll
geez.
like a 9.
There's no way.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I can't even, on a D8, I can't roll that.
Okay,
So.
yep. So you take another 11 damage.
Okay.
It's just sitting there wailing on you. It's just... It doesn't even really have a face. It's just kind of this faceless, muddy thing with fists punching on you. And that's the end of the creature's turns. Konos.
Okay. All right. So the flying mud creature that attacked me, is it within the melee range?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I am going to just grab the trident with 2 hands and try to stab at it.
Okay.
And as I'm going to cast Booming Blade.
Okay.
That is 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. So it's a D8 piercing and a D8 thunder, so 6 total.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move out of the field of watery thingies that are flailing around.
Okay, before you do that, when you hit this thing, you sort of go... It explodes, but Konos, Marcel, and Imran need to make a DC 11 dexterity save. It's a good thing you weren't restrained by those things.
So it was 11.
Hey,
sorry, me too?
Yep, Marcel, Imran, and Konos.
Okay.
You're in the
You
blast.
said
The blast of the
dexterity.
exploding mud creature. Dexterity saving throw, DC 11.
20.
Okay.
Something.
So who failed? Imran? Imran, you are stuck to the ground. The mud flies on you, flies on your feet, sticks you to the ground. Konos, what else were you going to do? You were going to move?
Well, I was going to move towards Axley. Is Emran still within the wavy field?
Yep.
Oh, I'm just causing problems for everyone tonight. Can I?
First you
I know-
save their butts, then you put their
Yeah.
butts in a sling.
Yeah. So I already used my action to attack. Can I just like try to just run toward her and just shove her out of this area of waviness?
That would be another full action.
Okay.
Okay,
Then
that'll be fine.
then I will move out of it and move towards Axley with
Okay.
as much speed as I
All right.
can.
You can make it to Axley because you're not restrained in any way.
Okay.
Marcel, you are also not restrained. But if you feel that if you don't move, those tentacle things are
Mhm.
going to do some damage.
Where are the things that are the flying ones?
They're kind of right in front of you, but they're not very, agile. So there's one basically within 5 feet of you, and there's one within 5 feet of Imran. There was one near Konos, but he made it explode.
Okay. Okay, then this might work. I'm gonna go up to Emerin.
Mhm.
I'm going to grab her,
Okay.
and I'm going to thunder step away.
Okay.
Oh,
How far does that
Nice.
take you?
90 feet.
Okay. So you can basically go anywhere in the
room.
room. Yeah.
I'm gonna go down to the southwest corner.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And anything that was in 10 feet of our starting point
Mhm.
has to make a constitution saving throw.
Okay. What happens if they fail it?
They take 3d10 thunder damage.
Okay. That one rolled a 7, so that's a fail. That one rolled a 5, so they both of the muddy flying things failed. So how much
Excellent.
damage?
Let's see. That's going to be 13 thunder damage.
Okay. Both of them explode, but since you're gone, they do not have any effect on you.
So yeah, I teleport with Emran into the
Nice.
corner, and we are now in a completely different place and got rid of 2 of them. That's perfect. And I'm gonna remember that I have a sword because it's it's kind of new,
Yeah.
and I think we need some help. So I'm gonna pull it out of its sheath, throw it up in the air, and say dance.
Okay.
And point at the big,
Yeah.
big
Shing.
shing.
The
Point it at
mud thing.
the big mud thing
Okay.
and see if it can hit it. And that's going to be 11.
Nope. No such luck. It cuts into it and comes right back out, but it doesn't look like it phased the thing at all.
All right, well, that's my turn.
Imran.
okay. Just out of curiosity, how tall is the ceiling?
It's 12 to 15 feet. It's very tall.
Mm,
And those pillars, they go all the way up.
I don't think that's tall enough.
What are you trying to do?
Tall lightning?
I think there has to be a way for a cloud to
form?
right? Storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius.
If you're in a room that can't accommodate the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. I have plenty of other things I need to be doing. That was mostly out of curiosity.
That was mostly out of I want to do something really awesome.
I really, really want to do it at some point in time, but now it's not the time.
It's a great spell for when you're outdoors, as I
Mhm.
keep finding out because I'm playing that a Tempest Cleric in another campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm always
Yeah.
running into that problem.
Okay. Can I get within 30 feet of the 2 goblins and the big mud creature? Can I kind of move around towards Axley and get within 30 feet of all 3 of those?
Yes, but there will be a pillar between you and the big mud creature.
I think that's okay.
Okay. Then yes, you can.
As long as I can see all of them. Can I see all of them?
Well, if the pillar is in between you and the big mud creature, you probably can't see it.
Wasn't actually to the south of the pillar?
Yeah, but the creature is. So if Axley is to the south of this pillar, the creature. Oh yeah, I guess the creature wouldn't be on the other side of it. Yeah. So okay, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Bane on the 2 goblins and the mud creature.
Okay. And what does this
They have
do?
to they have to make charisma saving throws.
Okay.
If they fail, they have to subtract a d4 to the number roll from an attack or a saving throw.
Okay. So here is the big mud creature. I rolled a 15. What kind of save is it?
It's a charisma saving throw, right? Charisma,
Okay.
yes.
And what's the DC?
CC's 14.
Okay, it failed.
Oh,
It
okay.
has a negative charisma.
Cool. I like it. I'm down.
And then the 2 goblins, the one that was chanting. Oh yeah, I rolled an 18 on the die. And the other one, I rolled a 1. So,
Okay.
the one that's writing on the wall probably isn't gonna do anything anyway, but he did fail. So,
That's fine.
and the big mud creature failed. So,
Okay. That's the one I was aiming for.
yeah. Anything
Okay.
else on your turn?
Spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Hits. I'm gonna. I can only move it 20 feet, so I don't think I could get it over the big mud guy.
Probably not. Not in one turn.
He's just gonna keep smacking the goblin and the.
Okay.
Well, actually told me not to.
Can you move it to the second goblin?
I'm afraid if I don't know how that spell, the
Oh, right,
suggest
he's
spell
charmed.
works,
Right. Yeah, never mind.
so I don't really want to hit that one. I don't really know how that one works, but is there any other mud creatures within 20 feet that I could hit?
No, there's only 3 living enemies right now. The big mud creature and the 2 goblins.
Oh, okay. Mistake, something like that. That's okay. I'm gonna keep smacking the other goblin just for the heck of it.
Okay. Roll the attack roll. And you get advantage.
Oh. That is a 16.
That hits. How much damage?
1d8. Plus 3. 8.
Okay. It tries to like block, but it can't move very well. So it's get away from me! Get away from me! Axley.
I'm gonna move and I'm gonna scoop up a big old wad of mud as I do so.
Okay.
And I'm gonna move to the goblin that's caged. And I'm gonna say, "You kiss your beautiful blue mama with that mouth," and I'm gonna stuff his mouth full of mud.
Now, before you do that, do you have a way to disengage from that big mud creature?
Oh, is it got me tangled?
No, but it's within striking distance of you, so it will take an attack of opportunity if you move out of its threatened area. Unless you have a way to.
And it hits hard.
Yeah.
Okay. What if I cast invisibility? Would that allow me to move out of the way? Disengage?
Invisibility, in this case,
I mean, technically speaking, invisibility is an action, so is disengage.
Oh,
yeah.
And you lose your concentration on suggestion.
So if all you wanted to do was make sure it didn't hit you, you could just disengage and then run. But I'm not sure if then you can do the other thing.
So if I disengage, it won't. How do I stop it getting an opportunity attack?
So
no, if you disengage, it can't.
So disengage is basically a special move action that allows you to move a little bit away while you're kind of, you're parrying and whatnot, so that it can't hit you. The thing is, then you can only move a small amount of space doing that. So to actually finish moving over to the goblin, you'd have to take basically your main action.
Well, can I throw the mud at its mouth since it can't dodge?
What's your goal, though? What's your goal of doing it? I mean, I'll let you throw mud at it, but
get its mouth full of mud so it can't cast a spell.
So that's going to take an action.
Okay. And then I can't disengage because that disengages an action is what you're saying. If I do that.
Yeah. So so that's why I was asking if you had some, like, there are some classes that have a special ability that lets them disengage basically as a bonus action. But you don't have that, so.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't want to get hit, so I guess I'm just going to disengage then.
Okay. And then you're going to move over to the goblin in the cage?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to pick up a big ball of mud so that you can try to shove it in its mouth on your next turn. Okay. All right. So you can't do that part of it till your next turn, but everything else you can do on this turn.
Okay.
Okay. And then it's the creature's turn. So, the big, beefy, muddy creature, now that its main target has walked away, is going to pick one of you that it can see. And it can either see Konos or Marcel or Imran, so I'm going to roll a d6. 1 and 2 is Konos, 3 and 4 is Marcel, 5 and 6 is Imran. 1. It's going to attack Konos.
Subtracting a d4 minus d4.
Okay, so I rolled a 9 on the die, so that would be a 17 minus a d4. I think that misses anyway, right?
We'll see. Depends what you roll.
Yeah. I rolled a 1, so 16.
16's my armor class.
Oh, okay.
So close. I'm trying.
So you're gonna take 14 damage, bludgeoning.
Okay.
And it gets another attack since it hit you with that one. Imran, does that d4 minus on this attack as well? Okay.
Yes, all attacks. And saving throws.
That's an 11 on the die, so 17 minus 2. 15.
Misses.
Okay.
Misses. Just.
So it missed you with its second attack.
Yeah.
It hits itself in the face, and
Oh, nice.
the fist kind of goes in, and it kind of pulls it out, and almost like it doesn't have eyes, but it kind of looks like it looks at it. And, the goblin that is riding on the walls looks over and sees how close Marcel is, and sort of moves away down to a different part of the wall to keep writing, and they're kind of humming to themselves. And they're writing, I will not be a blue-skinned evil, whatever.
I like to think it changes every time because they just get lost in thought and they just start writing random things.
Yeah. And then the goblin that has actually standing in front of it with a big ball of mud in his hand is actually going to, what is it going to do? It is going to,
I guess I should also point out that thunderstep is something that can be heard up to 300 feet away.
Okay.
And it probably sends big puddles of mud flying everywhere
Yeah,
when you cast it, too.
Probably. This goblin in front of Axley is just going to try to punch him in the face. But as it moves, it's not like punching. It just sort of, it almost reaches out like it's gonna slap him across the face, like almost like a noble slap, right? Like, I'm gonna fie in your direction. I slap you across the face. Except it doesn't say that because it's a goblin and it's much cruder than that. It says, "Get your filthy body away from me, you human!" And it tries to smack you. And I rolled a 2. That is a 7. And so that misses, but you hear a really loud crack of thunder when it tries to swing its hand and smack you. And you get the feeling that that would have been much more dangerous than just a simple slap. And then
I
it is
recognize that one.
Konos' turn.
Okay. I am torn between staying here and fighting this thing toe to toe and hoping that Bane keeps missing me, or disengaging to safety because I've only got 6 hit points.
You only have 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know, says the healer.
Yeah.
Good to
Yeah.
know.
Um.
I didn't. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna be actually. All right. I'm gonna try something risky. This is gonna be a disadvantage because I'm casting at point blank range. I'm gonna try to Eldritch Blast it,
Okay.
and hopefully I can knock it back for me. So first attack disadvantage is a 18 to hit.
That hits. Oh,
Okay.
I'm looking at the wrong card. Yes, that still hits.
Okay. 10 points of force damage. It's knocked back 10 feet.
Okay.
I'm then going to move as far away, 30 feet away from it, and cast the second one.
Okay. Actually, when you knock it back,
Yeah.
it knocks back and it goes into the wall and disappears.
God dang it.
I just call it get away from the walls. Get to the middle of the room. And I will do that. I'll move to the middle of the room.
Okay. Marcel. Oh, go ahead.
Since he's tied up, I'll take the second shot at the guy who's not riding on the walls.
Okay. Yeah, you have advantage on that attack.
Okay. $18 to hit.
How much?
18 to hit for 7 force damage.
Okay.
And push 10 feet.
Okay. It pushes him 10 feet, and he goes into a big puddle of mud, and he sinks under the surface of the boiling mud.
Oh, God.
And he goes, nah!
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Marcel.
I'm sorry, I probably ruined your witch bolt again.
Actually, I had let that witch bolt die when I teleported, because I'm pretty sure I teleported more than 30 feet away. But that's fine. Well, we're close to the walls right now, so I'm gonna move towards the center of the room.
Okay.
What wall did it disappear into?
The western wall.
The western wall. And Konos, did you move towards the center?
I did.
Okay. Emerin goes first. Alright. I will have my sword move towards the south wall on the off chance that it appears through there. And either way, I am going to prepare a spell. I'm going to prepare... Where the heck did that go?
When you move the sword over, the goblin that's riding on the wall goes, ah! And it drops its quill and it goes down. It puts its hand over its head and it's kind of looking up through its hands at the sword.
It's just standing there. I don't know why D&D Beyond does not put frostbite in my actions. I'm going to prepare a frostbite spell to cast it on the big guy when he shows up.
Okay. Emerin.
Can I'm gonna run over to Konos.
Okay.
As I'm running, can I look over at the other puddles of mud that we exploded and see if they're like congealing again
or reforming at all?
They don't look like they look like they were, but they are not now.
Oh, okay. dodged a bullet. I'm gonna run over to Konos. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds again at 2nd level and say, I already did this once. How do you keep getting so banged up this fight? Ooh, that's not as good. That's 9.
9. I'll take it. Yeah, it's just because I've got a 16 armor class, which is like about a 16 in blackjack. They look good on paper, but they're horrible to play with.
Fair enough. I'm gonna move my spiritual weapon towards Marcel.
Okay.
And just kind of hold it there. See if anything pops out.
Okay. Axley?
I'm going to turn with my hands on my hips and yell, "What part of don't hit the goblin in the cage do you not understand?" And I'm going to throw the mud at Emran and Kronos.
Sorry.
Have a
And by the
goblin.
way, that cage was a reasonable, heavy, very valuable magical artifact.
Yeah, we're going to have to fish that out now, aren't
We're
we?
going to have to fish that one out.
God damn it.
Hey, I didn't hit it.
Make your attack. Go ahead. Make your attack roll. You're lucky I turned off. You're lucky armor packet is off.
I rolled a 5.
So the one creature that is in the room is just still cowering in the corner now because Marcel's brilliantly bright sword is over there in that corner, near that corner. And then it's Konos' turn again.
Okay, I'm just looking around, like, so mud is basically coming out of all the faces on the pillars and the walls at this point, right?
Yeah. The speed at which the mud is coming out is slowed to a small trickle now. It's some of the mud is starting to dry on the pillars and whatnot because it's no longer.
Okay. I'll just say if there was some way we could wash all this mud off the walls and stuff, it might keep the thing from coming back. And I'll ready an action to cast Eldritch Blast if I see it reappear anywhere.
Okay. Marcel?
Only we had a watery wave.
I don't know if we can use that again on the same day, honestly. I can try.
Maybe it has charges.
Who knows? Not me. The pool in the pool in the center it's a pool of water, right? Like it has mud,
it's
but it's
mud.
also
It's mud.
It's mud.
It's mud.
Not water.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the consistency of very watery concrete.
Right.
But it's bubbling and steaming.